Welcome back to the last part, hopefully, of this review of DIW InsurrXion with me, Flying Zero, and my guest at this time.
WCW for life.
And we just reached the 7th match on the card, which was CVT and Andre Rubio versus Bronx and Sanchez in a tag team tables elimination match. So, should I start? Or do you want to start?
You can start.
Okay. Well, I personally thought this match was pretty good. I think it had the right amount of spots, except for, they didn't have that much spots using the. Okay, that was a stupid comment. I was about to say using the tables, although that would have led to a KO. So, yes, I believe they had the right amount of spots. I believe it went over for a good amount of time, and also I like the way that Sanchez got eliminated, then a couple seconds after Andre Rubio got eliminated. So it wasn't like a 2-on-1 handicap for very long. It was only 2-on-1 handicap for like 3 seconds or something. I like that bit. Overall, I think I'd give it. I might be overrating it a little bit. I'm not too sure, but I give it a 3.5 stars, and that's just my opinion. I might be overrating it a little bit, but that's what I'd give it.
Yeah, I'm not going to add anything. I'm not going to add much more. I agree with everything that you said. But there's only one thing. I think, in my opinion, I was going to say maybe it should have been earlier on the card, but just looking back at the match card, it was it was hard. I think it was a hard decision where to put this in. If I was doing it, in one opinion, it's not for a title, and the match before was for a title and a number one contendership. But then you had the tag team turmoil match before that, and I don't think anyone would like to see 2 tag team matches in a row. But it's too important for early on in the card. So yeah, I think from my point of view, it's hard to book this. I think you did to be fair, I think you did a good job. The actual match was good. I'm going to give it the same rating as you, 3.5 stars. And I'm just going to, agree with all the comments that you said. Just like the DTH versus the Gay match after Matthews Hayes, this had a hard act to follow after the really good triple threat match, and I think it was not a lot better. It was a bit better than triple threat, so it proved itself worthy for its place on the card. So I'm just going to agree with you. I'm going to give it 3.5 stars.
Like you said just a moment ago, it was pretty hard to place that match on the card because the stipulation would mean that it would be higher up on the card, so it couldn't be lower. But then you did have the number one contendership and X Division Championship on the line before, but then you had the tag team turmoil match, and like you said, people wouldn't want to see 2 tag team matches in a row. So that was a hard job actually placing that on the card. But I decided to put it there because of the tag team thing. And also, I don't like putting 2 championships on the line in a row unless I really have to. I don't know why, I just don't like doing it, really. So, the last match on the card was a DIW Championship match between the Exterminator, FOW's Reuter Machino, and Maxwellstein. So, do you want to start or should I start?
You can start.
Okay. To be honest, I believe this match kind of flopped a little bit. The reason I say this is because, number one, it was actually a no disqualification match, and I forgot to use weapons until, like, near the end, so that's one flop bit. Number two was that I think the match went on for too long.
How many parts was the match? I can't remember.
I think it was 3 or 4, but if it was 4, then it was at the very end of the first part, so technically it was about 3. To be honest, I think it went on for too long. But in my opinion, I think it was booked right, and that may sound weird because the Exterminator did lose to Darren Matthews, who's not even on the main roster, a couple weeks ago. But Roy Machino just came into the DIW really, and it'll be kind of weird for him to win the championship. And I don't think, to be honest, I don't think Maxwell Steen is a good champion. That's my opinion. It might not be everybody else's, but that's my opinion. So, taking that all in consideration, I say if it was just on the match alone, I give it a 2.5 stars. But because of taking everything into account, I say 3 stars. So my final rating is 2.75 stars. Yeah, that's my final rating.
Okay, I agree. Once again, I agree with most of what you said there. Apart from, like you said, it's your opinion, Max Steen. I'm not gonna, verbally attack you for your opinion, but I like Maxwell Steen. I would have liked to see him go to Brawlermania or Brawlermania, whatever, as the DIW champion. But I think, his time had come to drop the title. Like you said, I think he dropped it to the right person. But for me, I didn't really like the match. It was, you can't say it was the worst match on the card because of all the good matches, but it was the one I probably least enjoyed. Well, one of the ones to the bottom that I least enjoyed. I think it would have been fine in 2 parts or 3 parts, and then it finished halfway through the third. I think it lasted about 3 or 4. But I think it lasted 4 parts, with it ending halfway through, just at the beginning of the 4th, I think. We'd already seen it. I think, like you said, no DQ. There wasn't enough no disqualification spots in it, and I found it hard to get into. I don't know why. I've actually been enjoying the main event feud, but for some reason I just couldn't get my head into this. I just couldn't concentrate on this match. I found it pretty boring, most of it, apart from the last some like 6 minutes or something where it really started getting good with the closer counts. But for me, I'm just going to give this a 2, just a 2 stars for this one. For the match quality, I'm just going to rate this on match quality because that's what I do my star ratings on. Storyline wise, maybe near a 3, but for match quality, I'm afraid I'm just going to give this one just a 2 stars.
Okay, I think very good point. I really don't want to watch that match back again, and I think that was probably, in my opinion, the worst match one of the worst matches I've done on DIW so far. So your point's very justifiable. So overall, what would you give the CPV?
Oh, it's hard to do. It's easier to do single match ratings than over pay-per-view, but I don't think I give a rating for Hardcore Revolution. I might have done the radio show, I don't think I did, but personally, I thought that was something around a 7. But I think the undercard was really good on this. The main event, towards the end, it sort of got a little worse, but it was, you can't say because of the main event it was a bad CPV. I think it was an excellent, almost implausible CPV. I'm going to give it an, it's 8 point. I'm going to give it an 8.5 out of. Yeah, I'm going to give it a 9. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10, mainly for the storylines. But I thought Matthews Hayes was good, DTH Game was good, X-West Johnson was, it was all right. The Divas match, good. Satin Turmoil, decent. Triple Threat, really good. The other tag teams, DT and Rubio versus Bronx Sanchez, decent. The main event, average. So I think the undercard really made this show one of the, probably the best, if not the best CPV I've ever seen. And I'm not just saying that because I'm involved with DIW. I really think it was really good. I think you did a really good job in it. I'm going to give it a 9. That's my final rating, 9 out of 10.
Well, thank you for that. As we've only got about 25 seconds, I have to make this really quick. I would give this CPV a 8 star. I mean, yes, like you said, the undercard was really good, but the main event just killed it for me, I have to admit. So my rating is 8 star. As we only have 10 seconds left, I have to end this really quickly. So this has been Firing Zero and...
WCW Life.
This has been our DIW Hardcore Revolution review and coming to end, so goodbye.